Kabul, Afghanistan. While terrorist groups such as ISIS and the Taliban now hit headlines far more frequently than the once dominant Al-Qaeda AQ, the Osama bin Laden-founded network remains very much alive in Afghanistan. In fact, AQ's activities in Afghanistan is part of the reason for President Trump's decision to give Defense Secretary Jim Mattis the jurisdiction to deploy more American forces to the war-torn country. An estimated 9,800 American troops are already in Afghanistan, with around 2,000 of them designated to fighting insurgent groups, with AQ still a key player. Al-Qaeda is at least a few hundred strong, recently resigned Afghan Army Chief of Staff, Qassem Shah, told Fox News. They keep their operations very secret, work closely with the big groups for protection, and still pose a threat to the world. In December, General John Nicholson, America's top military commander in Afghanistan, stated that the U.S. had killed or captured hundreds of AQ fighters in 2016 alone, and that the group's numbers were far higher than previously issued estimates. The year before, U.S. and Afghan forces together dismantled AQ networks, and a large training camp in Kandahar, in what turned out to be one of the largest joint trades ever. So 16 years since 9/11 and 6 years after its financier and leader Osama bin Laden was killed, how does the terror outfit still operate? Officials say AQ's stamina and mild resurgence in recent years can be accredited to its ability to foster tag team partnerships with other terrorist groups. Al-Qaeda still has a prominent role. Once these networks are established, they persist, Dr. Abdullah Abdullah, the chief executive officer of Afghanistan, told Fox News. Just because we don't hear as much about it doesn't mean it no longer exists. The attacks AQ members are involved in, he said, are these days mostly orchestrated by ISIS. The two networks are known to routinely work together, particularly in the northern provinces of Kunduz and Badakhshan, funneling fighters through the porous border from Chitral, Pakistan. Al-Qaeda and ISIS have a lot of commonalities, and they share the same Salafi ideology, said Saeed Ishaq Gilani, a Sufi politician who founded the National Solidarity Movement of Afghanistan, referring to the extremely conservative arm of the Islamic religion practiced by some Sunni Muslims. But what also keeps AQ thriving is the group's good relations with the other main jihadist players across the country. They also have cooperation agreements for access to havens in areas controlled by other terrorists. We are seeing AQ remobilize themselves, especially in the eastern provinces of Nangarhar and Kandahar, where they cooperate mostly with the Taliban, said a high-ranking official with the National Directorate of Security, the Afghan equivalent of the FBI. And now there is talk of a base in Bagram. And in the southeastern province of Zabul, AQ is believed to operate under the umbrella of the Haqqani Network HQN, a Taliban offshoot known for its extreme brutality and rampant kidnapping for ransom. The group previously held U.S. soldier Bo Bergdahl, and still has in custody U.S. hiker Caitlin Coleman and her husband and children. AQ provides fighters, expertise and material support to HQN when needed, intelligence officials highlighted, and several times its members have participated in joint operations with the Taliban and HQN. Furthermore, Afghan officials allege that AQ's murky alliance with Pakistan remains its most fundamental lifeline, as most of its training and supplies originate from the neighboring nation. The Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, often referred to as the Punjabi Taliban, is said to work directly with AQ in Pakistan's federally administered tribal areas alongside the Afghanistan border. In March, U.S. forces struck and killed noted AQ leader Qari Yashin in Afghanistan's Paktika province. The Balochistan, Pakistan, native was responsible for the death of 2 American service members in a 2008 Islamabad hotel bombing, as well as an attack on Sri Lanka's cricket team the following year. Yashin was known to also have ties with the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, and facilitate agreements between the two parties. AQ additionally has merger agreements with smaller militant factions in the area, including Lashkar-e-Taiba, which was founded in the mid-1980s with bin Laden funding, as well as Jaish-e-Mohammed, a Pakistan jihadist group devoted to fighting India over the state of Kashmir. And according to Shaheen and several other intelligence officials, who spoke to Fox News under the condition of anonymity, AQ's leader, the 66-year-old Ayman al-Zawahiri, an Egyptian militant who was the longtime number 2 and took over after bin Laden was slain by U.S. Navy SEALs, is more than likely living covertly in Pakistan. Sources said recent indicators of his whereabouts have focused on the remote area between the villages of Atar Shisha and Dodial in the Khyber Pakhtun,